And
that's what that little green block is.
So, for instance, Cosolix is taking a little bit out of his defense to provide to his movement speed. And that's a playstyle change. That way, not even if two players are playing a Ditto, not necessarily the legends are the same, based off of the way that they've got them statted up. But we're here on Black Ark Keep his first game. Boomie opening up that spear, which we know is that weapon that he loves to use to rack up damage. We have to do a little bit more work on Roland because of how high his defense is, even if it is slightly subdued. But there's the double D-Light Stare that we've seen no other spear users use. And now Cosolix, looking for a weapon, finally finds the lance, but he's getting stuffed out by Boomie here. The side sig stopped barely by Cosolix's recovery, and now we're seeing the dash dance back and forth. Boomie trying to do his best to punish it, but each time he goes for the side stick, Cosolix is actually ready with these side airs on the lance. He's taking so much damage, however, Boomie just waiting on the top platform. Cosolix tossing that weapon up, just put some kind of pressure on the Boomie here, but the weapon toss is actually stopping Cosolix from doing anything. Side air responded with Boomie's own side air. Will he go for an unarmed Stare? Picks up a weapon, a D-Light Stare conveniently spawns right where Boomie's
That was
waiting.
like actually just pure gift from the gods coming through for Boomie right there. And he times that D-Light Stare perfectly.
Maybe it was calculated. I'm not sure.
It might have been. I don't know.
Either way, Boomie goes in for a nice neutral sig. Cosolix manages to make it back in the stage, and he's trying to slow down this game. Boomie's putting on a ton of pressure onto Cosolix, and he wasn't able to find his favorite weapon right away. Now that he's got the lance, stocks are down 1, but he has a chance to be able to put some damage on the Boomie here. And Boomie taking advantage of that platform on the left side of Black Ark.
He definitely does this.
Wow. Cosolix, however, going out for that down stick, tries to go for a ground pound as well. Kicks back to the stage. Boomie seems to be trying to find him off stage unarmed here. Finds a spear. Nice side air, double D-Light into Stare. He's loving that combo. He's getting it consistently every time. Cosolix tries to snipe him with a recovery, but Boomie is just making these trades even, and that's not what you want to see when you've already lost a stock.
Now, two things that Boomie is doing really effectively against Cosolix right now. The weapon tosses are one thing.
Catches him on the recovery into the weapon toss. He ground pounds to his death, knowing that he's not going to be there. He just wants to respawn faster. Cosolix learning the matchup, making the adjustments. Like I said, these are players that we don't see fight each other very often, and Boomie is just wiping the floor with him right now with his spear. D-Light comes out, nice neutral there, finds the Stare. Cosolix is on a weapon that I don't even think is very comfortable with. D-Light Stare comes out, down air, puts him off stage. He finds that Nair, makes it back to the stage, but I feel like he's looking for a weapon spawn. There's the D-Light Stare, goes after that side stick, does not connect, and the Stare sends him off stage. And a D-Light from Boomie, a GC D-Light, using that dodge to cancel into a move.
Are we going to see a 3-stock here? That is totally possible at this point.
Likely, which is not what you would expect in Winners Finals here, but that might just be how the tournament turned out. Boomie actually ready for Cosolix's lance here. Cosolix dashing back and forth, gets covered the side stick. The first 3-stock, opening it up explosively here on game number 1 in Winners Finals. Boomie is looking like he does not care how good Cosolix is with the lance. He doesn't care at all.
And if you're Cosolix right now, you have to be shook. A 3-stock is so huge. You're seeing the immediate character switch off of the Roland onto the Scarlet. Going to have a lot more strength here. You're seeing that strength stance, that top row of stats be very high. That means the kill potential is there for Cosolix.
Cosolix often switches between Roland and Scarlet because, like we said, he's one of those weapon mains, not a character main. And so what he'll do is he'll switch over to Scarlet because of the higher force. He's like, okay, the defense isn't doing anything for me. I need to make the most out of the hits that I'm getting. So now he switched over to Scarlet here, opening up with the hammer. That's the weapon that she has instead of sword, as opposed to Roland. And he's actually doing quite okay with it. Going up for these downlights here, trying to find some Stares. This is Stop Stare, and Cosolix is actually sticking to this weapon too much to my surprise, and Boomie is trading evenly with him as opposed to before where it was just a one-sided stop. And Cosolix seems to be quite comfortable with this new legend.
And Hammer into Spear, if we're talking about off weapons that is not Lance for Cosolix, the Hammer into Spear, Hammer is definitely going to have more damage per hit, so he doesn't have to find these downlight Stares, these downlight recoveries, these juggled Nairs that he's going to have to find on sword to keep up pure damage output.
It's also similar in the reach that it has as well to Lance. A nice sidelight recovery, what we've been seeing Cosolix use all tournament to be able to get those KOs. One more sidelight recovery might be able to get the kill, but Cosolix tossing all these weapons aside is just stopping Boomie from being able to find anything they can fight with besides his fists, and a nice Stare sends a flying. Boomie just barely living on both of these stocks. There's the sidelight recovery. This is what we're used to seeing from Cosolix. He seems to be adjusting a little bit. Maybe the stage was also something that he was uncomfortable with, but here on Mammoth, we'll see Cosolix dash back and forth constantly, waiting for his opponent to recover from the side of the stage after he throws him there, and then hit him with a nice combo, down air into neutral sig coming out. Nice side air, fully charges that neutral sig, gets punished by a recovery, but that's not going to kill just yet, and Boomie seems to be having a lot more trouble here against Cosolix's Scarlet as he finds a nice neutral sig. Is he going to toss the weapon up? No. See, that's the thing that some Lance players will do. They'll use the giant weapon hitbox to toss it up into an unarmed attack, but Cosolix doesn't even want to think about doing that. Excellent GC side stick from Boomie, however. We were talking about that's the move that he uses to interrupt light attacks to be able to get the KO when his opponent's in kill percent.
Cosolix has put out a ton of damage though, and if we see him hitting that grounded side air or the side light into the recovery or even the neutral stick at that point that we saw him hit earlier, Boomie's stock falls so fast. This is a full stock lead going the way of Cosolix right now. And you talked about that weapon toss hitbox upward. That's something that Boomie was taking advantage of since Cosolix wasn't doing it. He was coming down right on top of Cosolix earlier. We aren't seeing that as successful this time. It's truly left and right, and that's why Cosolix is so effective. That spot dodge punished by the neutral signature. The slide charge down signature. What does Boomie have here? He gets procced by the side air. That is going to be it. The weapon toss putting salt into the wound. A two stock going the way of Cosolix after we just saw three stock the other way.
That was only 260 damage from Boomie. That was absolutely insane. The adjustments that Cosolix made, and it wasn't just the character. A lot of the things that he does, he'll often do like side light down air and neutral sig on Roland. He's doing the same thing on Scarlet. I guess it was really just a change in stats. Maybe it was the stage, Boomie going back to the stage that he was comfortable on. Let's see if Boomie's able to make the adjustments, because we just went from a 3-stock in one direction to a 2-stock in the other. This set is explosive and exactly what I'm looking for in Winners Finals here. As Cosolix opens up with a nice Lance neutral air, looking for another neutral air, but Boomie finding these double D-light stairs, which he barely found in the previous match, putting the hurt on the Cosolix once again, but the trades are a lot more even than they were in game one.
There's a nice down air coming out from Boomie. He does have that soft platform above him, so we might see him sticking to that, trying to stay right above Cosolix. If Cosolix tries to go for the jump nair on the Lance, putting out that 360-degree hitbox, what Boomie was doing before is he was right inside of it. It's on the periphery, but if you stay stacked with the opponent character, it's not going to hit you. Right. So we might see Boomie completely attacking vertically. He's coming in with this neutral signature, trying to find this early kill option to get the lead. There's the D-Light side air. Maybe if he would have gone for the double D-Light, he doesn't need it. He has the weapon spawn there, the perfect timing.
The delayed weapon toss. I think that weapon toss is one of those things where it's like, you know what, I'm going to throw this out. Let's see if you dodge. If you do, great. If you don't, you're dead. And Boomie was able to get the more favorable result there. But with Cosolix throwing out recovery after recovery, just hitting with the tip of the spear, and the final silent recovery to end it, does not let that stock lead linger for any longer than it should.
And that's something that's special about recoveries in this game. When you use them in the air, of course you have the initial one. Then if you still have jumps left, you can use what's called an exhausted recovery. It'll behave slightly different than your original recovery, which with the Lance, you can turn them around and use it so quickly. It doesn't have that same charge time that the initial one does, but you can attack back to back, and that's what we saw from Cosolix.
I'm loving these side light into down air neutral sigs coming from Cosolix, because the neutral sig is positioned in just a way that we talked about earlier. You either get the hit or you don't get punished. But Boomie, wow, excellent read on that jump there. Cosolix was kind of sleeping, trying to recover back to the stage in a way that felt safest to him, but Boomie was able to show that it wasn't safe with a nice neutral sig, kills him pretty early, and now, ooh, that side light almost led into a D-light combo. Goes for that sliding side sig. He's just side-lighting him and D-lighting him over and over again. Cosolix has to be careful, his jumps are low, taking advantage of that platform, gets the jumps back, avoids that D-light, and that ground pound came so close, but Boomie has an opportunity for an early stock here. Cosolix going for an unusual weapon toss for his playstyle, but instead finds that hammer. Will he get a Sair? No, second Sair does not connect. The scoop does.
The weapon toss down, making sure Boomie gets back to the platform safe. A falling sider there, doesn't pick up the downlight. There's the stomp sider from Cosolix, and it's on that right side.
Yeah, a great position to have that happen. If that was from center stage, it probably would not have KO'd.
That blast zone, because you have the soft platform on the left, that extends the blast zone out a little bit, but on the right, there's no soft platform there. Oh, stuffing that with the side air coming out from Cosolix.
That neutral sig probably would have KO'd because of how close that blast zone is.
And he's in orange right now.
Yes. So he's got to avoid that. Okay, manages to avoid the GC down like Cosolix. Makes it back, but he slides up too far. You get a little bit of momentum when you touch the stage, but instead he finds a Sair, double D-light Sair. That's going to do it. If he didn't chain 2 D-lights off of that D-light, he would not have gotten a KO.
And we saw him do that earlier. He got the kill with the follow-up weapon toss, but before that, he just did a single downlight into the Sair, and it wasn't enough. That extra downlight carries you just a little bit further. It puts out a little bit more damage, so that side air has a little bit more knockback on it because of the variable force.
And now we're moving on to a new stage, Small Brawlhalla. I think that if Cosolix manages to make it go to a game 5, he should ban Blackguard, because that seems to be like just a place that Boomie is dominating him on. But we're going to find out if we even get that far as we're into game number 4 here. Boomie opening it up unarmed, manages to get hit by a side air from Cosolix. Cosolix is dashing back and forth, punished by a weapon toss, but the tail end of the nair there, the pivot nair to hit him with the flames that are coming out of the back of the lance to be able to put some pressure and damage onto Boomie. Boomie seems to be having trouble landing, but not taking too much damage from being aerial.
You see Cosolix only really going up 1 jump height before back touching the ground. You'll see him probe with those nairs, trying to catch Boomie when he's floating. The sider there.
I'm liking that. He dashes forward and then dashes back, baiting Boomie in. Nice side air into a side light, traveling off the stage with that grounded move. Finds a Sair as he lands under the wall, but Cosolix gets a nice side light Sair, dashes back, maybe looking for a neutral air, will go for the recovery. It's stopped by that weapon toss from Boomie, but Boomie has a little bit more damage on him than Cosolix. Cosolix is getting into the range where he might want it. Oh, that blast zone so close. Barely survives from that side sig, but he might be able to get a silent recovery here. He finds the lands. I like that dash forward into recovery.
Cosolix. Some unarmed play coming from Cosolix, which is pretty rare from him, especially when there were weapon options on stage.
Boomie may have been thinking, okay, Boomie finds a nice GC neutral sig to get the KO, but he might have been thinking, okay, Cosolix wants to go back. He wants to get his weapon. He's not going to come out here to fight me off stage, but he did indeed, and he used the dash to make those jumps even faster. But Boomie, an uncharacteristic flub there, misses his double D-light, so he doesn't get nearly as much damage off of that punish as he should have. And Cosolix now on the side of the stage. There's the double D-light, but Cosolix manages to avoid it just in time, but he's still getting carried around by Boomie's spear strings. There's a nice D-light down there, or side light down there.
And he mixed it up with the neutral light after that instead of the neutral sig in case Boomie dodged down or just tried to fast fall down right after it.
Because the neutral light from the lance, sort of like a jab, lasts a little bit longer than the signature will. And the ground pound gets that KO super early, reads Boomie trying to recover to the stage. It was not safe, and Cosolix was actually able to get that KO and the stock lead here, looking to make it into a Game 5 here in Winners Finals. Sidelight down air, neutral light, the mix-up actually working. Another sidelight, Sair carries Boomie off the side of the stage. He tries to go for a second Sair. Boomie tosses that spear away.
Oh my gosh.
Gets the ground pound read, but Cosolix taking that lead and running with it.
He has about 40 to 50 damage on Boomie right now. Cosolix fresh on his stock, getting very close to kill percent. Those closed blast zones on Shipwreck, that high strength that Cosolix has with this Scarlet pick. He has the lance. He goes in with the sidelight. He doesn't find it. He's probably looking for the recovery here. He has Boomie and kill percent at this point. Sidelight recovery, and it's going to kill, tying up the set.
100% the map that allowed that to kill at that
For sure.
The blast zone's small enough to where they were able to make that work. I don't know if Cosolix can avoid going to Blackguard Keep.
I'm trying to see if he banned it out. Okay, he did ban out Blackguard Keep.
So we're going to Small Enigma here for Game 5. And this is a big deal. This is as neutral a stage as get. It's sort of like a Battlefield style map if you're used to Smash Brothers and Melee or Wii U. But there's no weird shenanigans with floating platforms on the left or the right. This is Game 5 Winners Finals. Cosolix is making this look really real, and the awesome thing is that when either player wins, it's super hard favored in either way.
Yep.
All right, down air comes out from Cosolix. He's opening up with his hammer. It's not the lance that we've been seeing all game. Boomie's finding a nice down air. Sidelight comes out. Sidelight missed from both players, but Boomie's able to find that punish with a neutral light. A weapon toss coming out from Cosolix here, trying to get that lance, and he finds that the neutral air start coming out. Dashes back, nice Sair. Will he go for a sidelight down air to be able to punish Boomie's landing here? There's the side air. No neutral sig, but Boomie's trying to find these down airs, but unless it's Blackguard Keep, we've been seeing that Boomie, okay, as I was saying, there's no D-Light Sairs, but he finally finds one, and that's a huge deal. That's where he's getting the majority of his damage.
Oh, that was kills him right on the edge.
Early.
That was such an early kill because it was so close to the edge. The blast zones on Enigma are pretty average, but it seems like the blast zones on the left and the right are pretty close sometimes. Cosolix coming in with the hammer. He had success with it in the first game that we saw the Scarlet with. It looks like he's going to ditch it for the lance, though. Oh, he has to, yeah, you're right.
Diving kicking that direction with that few jumps, Cosolix could have gone off stage, but wow, a nice recovery coming out, sniping him towards the top of the stage. A silent recovery on the stage wouldn't have killed for a long time, but because he was able to catch that falling animation for Boomie, he was able to get that KO and even things up really quickly.
And that might be what Cosolix is going to want with those soft platforms.
Nice recovery to Nair.
Boomie tends to ride those platforms like we saw him do on Blackguard Keep. The big turnaround for Boomie. This could be a gigantic lead going his way. It's the gravity cancel side signature time and time again.
And that play style from Cosolix I'm seeing is sometimes lacking. When he got that down air into the stage, that's the moment where I'm like, throw the lance down, continue the string. The lance doesn't have any ability to do anything past that, but instead he decided to hold on to it. He gave Boomie that opportunity, but it seems as though Cosolix just wants to even things up really quickly. No, double D-Light Sair, the neutral stick coming in from Boomie there, trying to stuff that stock out really early, trying to go for a two-stock. Once again, Cosolix needs to be able to find some sort of string here to put Boomie in the red. There's the silent recovery. He's got him towards kill percent. A signature will be able to do it. Maybe even a silent recovery if he gets him on a platform. Boomie's being very careful here. He's just waiting for a weapon spawn. He dashes down, finds a nice neutral air. There's the spear. But the silent recovery, it actually manages the KO. We're on last stock for both players here. Whoever is able to KO the other is going to get into grand finals. The other one has to go down to losers finals to fight against the winner of Wilson and Wrenched. And Cosolix is putting on a decent amount of damage. Boomie, who went from 3 stock to even match, punishes that neutral sig. Nice recovery. Boomie's got to be careful. He's taking so much damage. The neutral sig combo connects. Boomie trying to go in with his down air. Cosolix going left and right with the dashes. He's finding the stairs. This has all been Cosolix the entire match. Boomie needs to find some sort of attack. There's the sidelight. He gets the spear. Double D-light. No, just into the stair. He just wants whatever he knows will work. Recovery comes up from Cosolix. This is looking so close.
Now, even though Cosolix started this final stock way behind Boomie, he is dead, evened it up right now. He has the kill options. It's a gravity cancel side sig on the spear this time. It's not going to move him down a little bit. The down sig on the edge, not going to have enough mustard behind it. The side air for the follow-up. Cosolix popping off. He is going to take the set, moving into grand finals right now at Dreamhack Austin.
3-2, and Cosolix showing that he didn't need to adopt that play. So that's how strong he is with Lance. He doesn't overuse any of those options. And that down signature at the very end, we saw that in